Winston Lindsley. Thank you. I am delighted to speak with this group today and share my personal experience with stroke and stroke recovery. As you can see, I need a little help to get my message across today, and I hope everyone will be able to follow along. I want to dedicate this talk today to my late mother, Elizabeth Burnett Glover. Her love and guidance set my course in life, and I thank her every day for that. Here is a slide of a needlepoint my mother created and left to me. It is a picture of the Mary Powell, a steamboat that ran down the Hudson River in the late 1800s from Orange County, NY. Our ancestors were prominent in the steamboat industry during that period of time, and my mother educated me throughout my life on the importance of family history and relationships. The message I want to share with you is one of hope and determination. No matter what the odds are, you have the ability every day to wake up and choose how you want your life to be. I have chosen to move forward despite the physical setbacks I struggle with every day. I am determined to live an intentional life full of new experiences, business success, and meaningful relationships. I didn't make that decision after my stroke. I made that decision when I was 15. Let me share with you how it all came about. I grew up in the 1950s. To put it simply, I was a child of privilege. My family tree includes my great-grandmother, who was first cousin to the mother of Winston Churchill, and the kin of John Deere. You would think because of those bloodlines and wealth, I would have it made. Well, when I was 15, my father invested the family fortune in the first cable television network. The company collapsed, taking with it the family fortune. My father's decision changed my life. I became homeless at 15. I moved in with cousins and earned money pumping gas. Slide of you in front of gas station. I quit high school in 10th grade to study auto mechanics. No one came to our rescue. If I were going to make anything of myself in this world, I would be doing it on my own. I didn't exactly know how right then and there, but I knew it was up to me. I met you at the Pizza Inn in Newtown Square. It was our teenage hangout. Many of us would go there after school hours, weekends, whenever we could. The owner was John Caratelli, and Pop and Gladys were two older of his family members who worked there. They made great pizza, hoagies, cheese steaks, and meatball sandwiches. You, me, Stephen Eck, Drew Williamson, Mike Andes, Walt Hughes, Mike Meehan, Gidget, Nancy Long, Jeannie Wolfe, Carol Barans, Tom and Mike Carroll, Mike Neiberg, Eddie Curtis are some of the names I remember.
This is a story that Winston told me today. By the time Winston was 10 in 1960, his family had undergone serious financial and emotional strain due to his father, Togo's alcoholism, and losing the family's money in a failed business venture. His mother Betty has taken a job in the neighboring town of Wayne, a few miles from their home in Newtown Square, PA. Togo had recently finished writing his play The Luxurious Sower. The play dealt with a fictionalized account of the bad business venture in which Togo lost the family's money, and how Togo felt that it was because he as an individual entrepreneur, even with his family connections and money, was unable to compete with the emerging corporatocracy of post-WWII America. From what I can gather, it was General Electric that ended up financing and pulling off a project very similar to Winston's father's, a development plan for color, closed-circuit television. Essentially, a proto-cable TV. This event was devastating to Togo, and it appears that he was never able to get out from under it, or drink it all away. So one day Winston comes home from school, and Togo was so drunk and apparently suicidal to a young Winston, that he ran the miles to his mother's work to go get her, and let her know he thought his dad was going to kill himself. Winston was traumatized by his parents' divorce when he was 15. He broke a large, single-pane glass window in the family's historic Newtown Square home. At that time, Fanch's company was trying to sell their service to Johnson & Johnson, a potential very big client. One of the main products Johnson & Johnson marketed was Kotex. Fancha was to do a demonstration to Johnson & Johnson, and John's company was hired by Fancha's company to do the recording. John arranged some display columns on the stage. On top of the beautiful display columns were 50 boxes of Kotex. While filming it, the guys with Johnson & Johnson from New Jersey asked where the super absorbent were. How would Fancha know which box the super absorbent were in? Finally, the stage manager went through each of the boxes to find the product. Winthrop, the character in The Luxurious Sower, was the guy who kicked Fancha out of the company in real life. Arthur Choate Jr. Fancha wrote The Luxurious Sower based on his experience.
On the fence about LSD. I mean, I don't know. Nobody seems to be able to come up with any definitive, unscary, objective analysis of what LSD, what the effects of LSD is on a person. Winston and his friends think it's great. And I can see, now that I've done it a few times, why they don't have any after effects. They do enjoy it. And it does expand your consciousness. On one of the good trips I had, I went through some of the things I've done in my life, and such as starting the Crosiga Television Company and other things, and it really was pretty wild, pretty crazy, going down to Wall Street and raising all this money and whatnot. It all came back to me for the first time while I was having this trip, and didn't disturb me. It was very objective. But the thing acid seems to do is get you closer to the real things of life.
Files related to Contelpro showed how the FBI had targeted political groups and individuals it deemed subversive and dangerous, including the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, black nationalist movements, socialist and communist organizations, anti-war protesters, and various right-wing groups. The Bureau had infiltrated them with agents who, among other things, attempted to manipulate members into agreeing to commit criminal acts so that the FBI could arrest and prosecute them. The FBI succeeded in convincing the New York Times to suppress the documents and even return them, but the Washington Post published a series of articles based on them. Those revelations led to the creation of the Senate Church Committee, which concluded, excerpt from Greenwald, Glenn, No place to hide.
Before I did anything, I demanded politely that they identify themselves. I said, I want to know who I'm dealing with. And it turned out that the man leading the raid was an FBI man. Then there were two narcs from Ferguson's office and two plainclothes police from Rizzo's group. So I gave them what I had, but they were not, the FBI man was not at all satisfied. He kept insisting that I had a large amount and demanding that I give it to him. And I said, well, you can tear the house down, you won't find it. They spent 2.5 hours searching the house and didn't, of course, find any more.